What does it do, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Scotty Says. I am your host, and welcome to episode 133, my folks. And did you see it? Oh, did you behold it in its glory, in its magnificent splendor? The Rams finally did what needed to be done to them damn Niners. Finally, the Rams put it on them, whooped them up real good, beat the devil out of them. Father Sorcerer Shanahan, he was scratching his dome and befuddled and walking in circles. McWonder needed this. The Rams needed it. I needed it. We all needed it because the Niners, them damn Niners, they are who I thought they were. And we didn't let them off the hook. Oh, it was a beautiful thing to see, my folks. And I tell you what, I basked in every moment of it. Loved it. And I've got a game analysis to give you. I'm just gonna give you the first quarter. It was such a beatdown. It was such a pummeling, a drubbing. Asses and L's were kicked and scattered all across the bay. Oh, it was so satisfying. It was a magnificent sight to behold. And so the LA Rams finally exorcised them damn Niner demons. They did what needed to be done. I knew the Niners couldn't hold up. I just knew it was smoke and mirrors. And now the Niners can go and lick their wounds and bury themselves at sea somewhere because they're done now. The mystique has been pierced. That sense that there was just, the thing with Father Shanahan, the sorcerer, and them damn Niners was that they had that mystique over McWonder. Like you just knew something was gonna go wrong. Somehow, some way, they were gonna just get him in the end, and he exorcised all those demons, I believe, with this ass whooping up in San Francisco. I mean, finally, I feel as though there's a weight lifted off his shoulders when it comes to them damn Niners. I really believe it. I believe now he can go ahead and fly now. Gonna fly now. Yeah, I really believe it because them damn Niners have been like an albatross around McWonder's neck. Oh boy, but it reminded me of that old NFL black and white footage, I believe it was, where the guy was like, we're gonna punch him in the mouth, and then we're gonna punch him in the mouth again, and then we're gonna punch him in the mouth again. And that's what the Rams did. They punched them damn Niners in the mouth, and then they punched them again, and then they punched them again. And matter of fact, they just kept wailing on them the whole damn day long. See, in the past, the Rams could possibly get up on them damn Niners, be up at halftime, but they somehow they let off the gas. They started coasting, and them damn Niners would come from the grave like the Undertaker, rise up and get them. Not this time. No, McWonder kept his foot on the gas, punching, and they just beat the devil out of them. Whew. Okay. All right. Let me try and bring it down just a bit. So listen. Here's the thing now. as you can tell from my ebullience and my excitement, that was a massive game for the Rams. And now the Rams sit 7-2, 7-2, just as I told you it would be. And in first place, although a share of first place, because there's no time to rest on your laurels. Because now we're in the deep water of the NFL season. Now the SS Ram ball, we're in deep water. And just when you want to exhale from finally getting that damn Niner monkey, that gorilla off your back, there's no time to rest on your laurels, because now you face the best team in the NFL statistically in many metrics. You face the team that shares first place with you. You face the 7-2 Seattle Seahawks. At the Palace in Inglewood, a showdown, a heavyweight battle coming up this Sunday. And so, enjoy for a couple of days, but there's work to be done now. This game now, right on the heels of what was the biggest game of your season, you now have the privilege of a follow-up, even bigger game. And I believe the Rams are up to the challenge, but it's going to be a good one, because the Seahawks and the Rams not just share first place in common, but they have many other similarities. They're one of only two teams in the NFC, I believe, in top 10, both offensively and defensively ranked. They are formidable foes on both sides of the ball, both the Rams and the Hawks. And so it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. And so we'll get into the numbers in just a bit, but I just have to send out kudos, Coach McGenius and Matty from the D, Matthew Stafford. Because, do you remember years back, if you've been following these episodes, the reason that the Palace in Inglewood was originally called the Haunted Palace in Inglewood, and the reason that an interception is disaffectionately known as a poltergeist strike, and the reason that there was some speculation that Matty was haunted by a poltergeist was because the man seemed incapable of shaking off the interception turnover bugaboo. He just seemed plagued by it. It plagued him in Detroit, in the Badlands. And he brought it. It came. You remember the old, was it The Haunting? Or one of the Conjurings? I don't know which one it was. It's an old, familiar haunted trope where there's a haunting in a home, and the occupants, they leave because there's too much whack paranormal activity going on, and they got to get out of there, so they leave and they go elsewhere, and it picks up right there in the new digs. Why? Because it's not the home that was haunted, it was the occupants. And so where they went, the hauntings went too. Well, we're behind all that Halloween foolishness, but I bring that up because Poltergeist got its original moniker because there was some suspicion on my part that perhaps Matty was haunted, and that it wasn't the Silverdome or the field in Detroit, Ford Field, that it wasn't the Inglewood location, but it was the quarterback himself who was haunted. And that the poltergeist traveled where Matty traveled. And remember that first year in L.A., whoa, he led the league in pick sixes. Oh, ouchie, stanky, stanky. Bad news. But I'm here to say, Matty, he's cleaned that up. I don't know what he did. I don't know how he did it. He cleaned it up. He got it together. Kudos, Mr. Stafford. And, you know, there are some rumors that maybe there was an exorcism. You know, right before the season started, this season, there was a lot of talk about Matty's afflictions and bad back, and he was having trouble walking around, and they pulled up this trailer, this camper, this structure on wheels. They pulled it up, and Matty would come to training camp, but he wouldn't go out on the field. His back was in too bad of a shape. No, he would go in the immortal chamber. And what went on in there, no one knows. It's a well-kept secret. But I started to wonder, perhaps, there was something supernatural, something metaphysical, something in the occult realm going on in the immortal chamber. And, well, what if there was a football exorcist, and maybe instead of treatment, Matty was getting the ritual performed inside the immortal chamber with no windows. And he'd go in there and they'd strap him to the chair and make sure it was nice and dark, and then the football exorcist would come in and he'd have like a football rule book or some sort, and he'd have some Gatorade. Can you envision it? Matty in the dark, he's restrained. And the football exorcist would say, "The football gods compel you," and splash him with a little Gatorade. Ah! The football gods compel you. Ah! The football gods compel you. Ah! What do you want? I want you to be gone, demon. What is your name? Ah! He's mine. No, he's mine. The football gods compel you. The football gods compel you. Throwing Gatorade on him. What is your name, demon? Polty. It's the poltergeist. Be gone, demon. Leave him. The football gods compel you. And then he was released, and the poltergeist was no more, and Matty was free to ball out. And that's what he has been doing, balling the hell out. He has set an NFL record, 3 consecutive games, 4 touchdown passes, no picks, 3 consecutive of them bad boys. Matty, sir, the only thing I can say to you is MVP, MVP, MVP. I've been telling you. And now it sounds like everybody's finally caught on. MVP for Matty from the D. Sing it with me. But hey, I've been rambling long enough. Let's get to the heart of the episode, shall we? The Rams, exorcising demons by the bay, and now firmly entrenched in the upper echelon of NFL quality teams. So now let's get to it without further delay. Game analysis. All right. So Tutu was inactive, still injured, as you know. But I'm happy to report that offensive line, that O-line, that first team O-line is intact. And when intact, it is elite, as I told you last week. And so you had your intact first team offensive line. Of course, you've got Matty from the D, and, well, you know, K. Will is in the backfield. But check this out, my folks. This is important, and we talked about this last episode. Coach McGenius has, I don't know, let's say necessity is the mother of invention. And when Puka got hurt, Coach McGenius had to do something because they were too Puka dominant in the pass game. You know it. We all saw it. And that's partly why Puka got hurt. Too much Puka. And, well, Tutu, as I mentioned, also dinged up. And so, by necessity, it seems to me, Coach McWonder went to the lab and he came out with a wrinkle, and I talked about it in depth last week. 13 personnel, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. Now you know I love it. McGenius is known for 11 personnel. I mean, he's been in 11 personnel over the last, I want to say, 4 years. Probably 85% of the time he's in 11. That's how much he has relied on 11. And so, to see him, you know, he played around. He you know, tapped around 12 personnel for a while. Remember when he had the stone-handed one? But that, you know, the personnel and that was an experiment that didn't really work out due to personnel, etc. But he stumbled on, out of necessity, I believe, 13 personnel. Well, you've got all these tight ends in your tight end room, right? And 4 of them he's got. They can all catch, and they were being underutilized. And I think this is the beauty of 13 for me, is, you know, McGenius wanted to run out of 11 personnel. Well, in order to pull that off, you need wide receivers who are adept at blocking. And Soup liked to block. I don't know if he liked it, but he excelled at it. And Puka, likewise, physical. He's in it on the run game. But Soup got hurt, and Puka hurt, and now you got Tutu and Tay and a rookie here, maybe Whittington or somebody like that, and your run game is going to suffer. These guys aren't really blocking wideouts. And so I think he scratched his dome and he said, I've got all these tight ends sitting on the sideline. I'm trying to force Tutu and Whittington and Tay to block in the run game. Why not Eureka? Ding, ding, ding. If you employ tight ends to, say, 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, right? You've got a more physical presence. You're going to be you'll be a bit more versatile in terms of your run pass options. But then he did it one better. He said, no, I'm going to go 13 personnel. I'm going to go 3 tight ends with Tay and K. Will. And that unlocked it all. It opened it all up. Why? Because those tight ends, they can all catch the ball. They can give you the same kind of production you were getting from Tutu, other than the deep threat. But as far as outlet passes, screens, you can run them on sail routes, you can run them on slants and a variation of route combinations that you can employ with these tight ends. They're young, they're athletic. And in the case of Higbee, I mean, he's not as young, but he's been around. He knows the ropes. And so let's call him out by name. You got Higbee, your mainstay at tight end, but then you got Cousin Allen. And you got the ghost, Colby, the ghost. He's not a ghost anymore. I'm telling you, they're exercising these apparitions. And Tyler Ferguson, the rookie. And so those three plus Higbee, 4 tight ends. And when he found that, it unlocked everything. Now, they bolster your run game and they can catch the ball. They're a pass receiving threat as well, as you saw. And so you saw in this game against them damn Niners, the tight ends, they all 4 had catches and 2 of them had tutties. Okay? Oh, it was just beautiful. And so the run game was kicking, percolating. So let's just take a look. At that first possession. All right. And it started with Deuces, Blake Corum, with a beautiful run back. And he had them all day. I believe he had 4 kick returns and he was over 100 yards. So he was popping off plus 25 every kick return. Beautiful output from Deuces. And then right away now, it leapt off the screen when I saw it. There was only one wide receiver starting against them damn Niners. It was Tay. And then you had 3 tight ends. You had the Ghost, you had Cousin, and you had Ferguson. I'll call him Fergie. Ghost, Cousin, Fergie, plus Tay, K-Will, Matty, and that intact O-line. And they cooked them. They roasted them damn Niners. And I loved every minute of it. So let's look at it now. All right. And that, and the first thought I had when I saw that was, wow, Puka's not starting. But, it's better this way to have this versatility, especially with Puka still probably not 100%. All right. So right away, the tight ends get in on the action, and McWonder comes out guns blazing. They're aggressive with the play call, and Matty is rolling out the pocket, and Puka gets some, and Tay gets some, and then K-Will got some running action too. After 4 straight passes to open the game, K-Will got some run, and they showed a clip of Father Sorcerer over on the sideline. He was kind of looking like, what's going on here? And then, the Rams are moving and grooving so bad that them damn Niners running 12 people out on the field trying to stop them. And even that didn't help. And they had to burn a timeout. I'm like, damn, Father's discombobulated, or is it Salah, or both? And the timeout didn't help them because the Rams kept right on driving on the other side of the timeout. And then K-Will up the gut. First down, and now 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. And it's red zone alert. And Matty rolls the pocket, hits Tay out of bounds, 1st and goal at the 2. Give it to K-Will McWonder, and he does. K-Will up the gut, touchdown Rams, touchdown LA, and right away is on and popping. Hit them in the mouth. They are who we thought they were. And I'm like, yeah, this is how you start. But now the defense got to show up and do its part. And it does. 3 and out. Rams get the ball right back. Here we go. And the Rams on the second drive. Everything's still percolating. That first drive, sensational. 10 plays, 64 yards. 4 minutes and 46 seconds off the clock, an opening drive that was sublime, and with the ball right back now for their second possession, already up 7-0. It's more of the same, and now Deuces is in, and he's running smooth and free, just like K-Will, and the Rams are moving and grooving. They got all the answers to the test for them damn Niners. I mean, they're not getting any pressure on Matty, and even when they do, it's almost like McWonder knew it was coming. He's got a screen dialed up to burn him every time. Screen to the tight ends, one of the four. Screen to a wide receiver screen. And so I was just thinking, well, Puka's been a little quiet, and then there it is. Wide receiver screen. Puka, touchdown. Touchdown, Puka, touchdown, Rams. And now it's 14-0. And you could see Father Sorcerer was concerned what was going on. He's not used to just having his ass handed to him like that by his son, Coach McWonder. And so I just have to, at this point, give more credit where it is deservedly due and say that first drive in 13 personnel, and then following that up with a subsequent touchdown drive. These are examples of McGenius at his creative best. And so these drives to open the game against the hated rivals, against the gorilla on their back, these two drives, especially that opening drive that was sublime, these, my folks, I must and am happy to report, have been your McGenius spotlight sequences of the week. Congratulations, Coach. Kudos, well done. And so, my folks, I could go on. Trust and believe. I have notes from this game, and they are all in the superlative category. It was an A+ effort from the coaching staff all the way down through the execution of the star players as well as the role players. And speaking of now, I had my eye especially keen on the kicking game because you know that Cardi experience, the party was canceled, rated, and so now there is Mevis. Mevis is the new kicker, and well, they call him the thicker kicker. He's a big dude, this guy. You know, you block his kick, you might pay for it. But Mevis was clean. His execution was flawless. And so far, so good. Welcome aboard the SS Ramball, Mr. Mevis. Well done, sir. And so let's hope that the kicking game miscues are behind us. All right. So now, needless to say, I could go on. There's so much more from this game, but you get the drift, my folks. It was a 42-26 final score, and the game was not that close. Okay, them damn Niners got their asses thoroughly, soundly, roundly whooped. Real good. Real good. And coming from a long-time Rams fan, and I remember way back Ken Norton beating on the goalpost in St. Louis, same old Rams. Well, the Rams got a measure of respect and revenge in this ball game that's going to carry them and serve them well, I do believe. So now, let's move forward. Let's look at the numbers, shall we? Okay, now, when you look at the numbers, I mean, obviously, it was a beatdown. It was an ass whooping. I mean, the time of possession actually wasn't that different. It was fairly close. And, wow, I mean, total yards, 8 yards apart. 401 for the Rams, 393 for them damn Niners. And I'll give Mac Jones credit. He had a great game statistically. We'll get to his numbers in a second. San Francisco had more passing yards than the Rams did. And they had more yards per play by half a yard than the Rams. But they were also way more penalized. The Rams played clean, no penalties. No penalties, no fumbles, no interceptions, no poltergeist strikes. Clean. And when you play clean, and when you play with balance, and you play discipline, and you've got some ingenuity, and you've got talent, and you've got good coaching, why, damn it, you got a great recipe to go deep, deep, deep in the playoffs, and make a run. Matter of fact, I saw, you know how Vegas is, I saw the money lines, I saw the odds, the betting odds, and now Rams are tied for second in betting odds to get to the Super Bowl. Tied with it's KC. They got one, and then Rams and Eagles. They got tied for second betting odds. So people are finally starting to give the LA Rams the respect they're due. Now, they're not getting the media coverage still, because that's that East Coast sickness they got. They just stuck on mediocrity with the Giants and them and the Jets. But it's starting to become obvious. It's not a secret anymore. That Rams defense is top notch, top shelf. How many episodes have I been telling you this? And so you see that is exactly the case. And then the offense, well, that's cooking too. And as I said, you top 10 offense, top 10 defense, you're going to go somewhere in this league. You're going places, son. All right. So now, let's just take a closer look. Well, them damn Niners, 7 penalties, 45 yards, none for the Rams. They had a fumble loss and a poltergeist strike. Emmanuel Forbes Jr., shout out. He had a game ball last week. You dig? And, well, there was only one sack in the game. Matty grazed on San Francisco turf. But that was the only sack of the game. Now, let's do what we must do. Let's apply the principle, shall we? My 25-30 principle. Let's apply it here. In this particular case, let's start with the LA Rams. Let's start with the victors, of course. Matthew Stafford, 24 of 36 plus a sack. So that is 37 pass attempts. That's a bit over. But Matthew, wow, what a game for Matty from the D. 37 pass attempts for the Rams. What about rushing? Well, K-Will, 14 totes. Corum, 13 totes. Wow, that's balance right there in terms of splitting your carries. So K-Will had a slightly better yards per carry average at 5.2. 73 yards, 14 carries, plus 2 tutties. But Corum, 13 for 56. And so 27 run plays. And so that is a green check on the metric board. And so we have one X1 check, hit one, miss one, with a balance differential for McWonder, -10. Let's look at Father Sorcerer. All right. Well, Mac Jones, he had a great game. 33 of 39. 319. 3 touchdowns and a poltergeist strike, as we mentioned. And so 39 is an X, that's over the cap. Let's look at rushing. Father never misses the rushing metrics. Right? Wrong. Look at the sorcerer. He got outsourced. Robinson, 8 carries, 41 yards. McCaffrey, 12 carries, 30 yards. A grand total 20 run plays. Father the Sorcerer Shanahan only ran the ball 20 times the whole game long. Well, he was playing from a deep, deep deficit, wasn't he? I guess he couldn't go with his normal game plan. And so He missed both metrics, did the sorcerer, and so his balance differential was a negative 19 to McWonder's negative 10. And there you have it. But I would be remiss if we did not now do what we have to do. Game balls, game balls, game balls. Let's give out a few. All right. First and foremost, game ball, game ball. Matthew Stafford. He threw for 280 yards, 4 more tutties. As I mentioned now, 3 consecutive games, 4 touchdown passes, no picks. That poltergeist has been exorcised. The football gods compel you. Be gone, demon. He's gone. And now, Matthew Stafford, the only thing left to say is MVP, MVP, MVP. Game ball, sir. He had a 127.1 passer rating against them damn Niners on the road. Game ball, Matthew Stafford. I want to give a game ball. I want to give a game ball to Deuces, Blake Corum. Deuces. Well, he had 13 carries for 56 yards, which, I mean, that's all well and fine for your change of pace back. I mean, no problem there whatsoever. He had a 4.3 yard per carry average, but where I really, really felt he excelled was in the kicking game. Remember now, in addition to those carries, he also was your kick returner on the day. 4 kick returns, 110 yards, a 27.5 yard per kick average. Game ball, Deuces. Blake Corum, game ball, sir. And then, finally, let me go on to the defensive side. Now, I got to go over there. I want to give a game ball. Well, this guy is no stranger to game balls now. It seems to me he's got a case full of them now, I guess. The Landman. Give him a game ball. 5 solo tackles. 6 more assisted tackles. Plus that peanut punch out. And he's getting a punch out every game, it seems like. And he's going to punch him in the mouth. And we punch him in the mouth again. And we punch him in the mouth again. Them damn Niners got that ass whooped. I'm still a little delirious, I guess. Oh, it was a good one, wasn't it? Whoo! Game ball, Nate Landman. And then honorable mentions. Let's stay on the defensive side. I want to give an honorable mention to the leading tackler on the day. Once again, Quentin Lake, your leading tackler. He had 8 solo tackles, 3 more assisted. He is like a tackling metronome. Pow, pow, pow. And then I want to give out a couple more honorable mentions on the offensive side. Honorable mention. Let's give out an honorable mention to, they forgot about Devontae Adams. Honorable mention. There he is again. He got another touchdown reception. Plus, he was your leading receiver on the day. 6 receptions, 77 yards, a 12.8 yard per catch average. And I hope that the injury that we saw toward the end of the game is nothing that's going to plague him or be too serious. I really hope they will need him against Seattle and moving forward as well. So, if it's calculus, let him miss the Seattle game. And even if you take that loss, you're going to need Tay to be right down the stretch. So you don't need to push him. And I like that McWonder sees that. That's why he's giving Puka a break. That's why he's using 13 personnel. That's why he's using all 4 of those tight ends in the tight end room. And so continue to do it, McWonder. Keep it up, sir. Less big, let success be your guide. Yeah, man. All right. And so finally, honorable mention. I want to give an honorable mention finally, two on the offensive side, two, none other than the Ghost, Kobe the Ghost Parkinson. Give the Ghost a game ball. Go ahead on, Ghost. Kobe, 4 receptions, 41 yards, 10.2 per yard per catch average, and a touchdown. Kobe the Ghost. Honorable mention, sir. All right, and so now let's look ahead to this upcoming Seattle game very quickly. Now, for frame of reference, the number 1 scoring defense in the entire NFL happens to be the Denver Broncos. They've only allowed 15 touchdowns the entire season. They are number 1 in defensive touchdowns allowed. Number 2, the LA Rams. The LA Rams are number 2 at 16, right behind them. And then the other teams start to fill in. There's a tie for number 3. Houston and Green Bay each have 18 allowed. And then there's a tie beyond that. That would be for 5th. Seattle, KC, and the Eagles all have allowed 19. And so you see, it depends on which metric you use. There's so many different metrics, and there are these next-gen metrics. I saw DVOA, it's a next-gen metric, and by that metric, the Rams have the number 3 ranked defense in the NFL. Seattle has the number 4. Or there's the scoring metric. The Rams are number 2. Seattle is tied for 5. Or there's, is it yardage per game, passing yards, rushing yards, etc., etc., etc. No matter how you slice it, you're looking at a battle of titans. Not the Tennessee Titans, because they're lousy. No, heavyweight titans in the NFL, both in the NFC West, both tied atop the division at 7-2 in the Rams and the Seahawks. And so no matter how you slice it, you've got 2 upper echelon defenses facing off against 2 upper echelon offenses. Now, I would be remiss if I did not point out that the last time the Rams defense saw Sam Darnold fight off, they wore his ass out, didn't they? Remember? Need I remind you? It was the playoff game that was moved because of the fires, moved to Arizona, Minnesota Vikings, and Sam fight on Darnold. And the Rams ate him alive. I believe it was 9 sacks, if I'm not mistaken. 9 big times he had a mouthful of Arizona turf. Did Sam. And so, that many people believe, that performance, the Rams' domination of Darnold and the Vikes, led to O'Connell's decision to part ways with Sam Darnold and not give him his moolah. And so Sam Darnold, fight on, ends up in Seattle. And once again, he's balling. Now remember last year, Sam Darnold was balling. Fight on. He was balling in the regular season, but he looked like New York Jets Sam Darnold. I'm seeing ghost Sam Darnold. There is some question. How will Sam fare under the bright lights against the best of the best? Well, time will tell. And if he holds true to form, maybe he'll have a decent regular season game. Remember, the Rams faced the Vikes twice last year. They beat them both times, but the first time was close. The second time was a slaughter. Well, we'll see how this one plays out. But, hey, if you just want to go comparison quarterback to quarterback, I'm riding with Matty all day long. And you know what else? Sam Darnold, fight on, has had his issues with the poltergeist. Trust and believe. So will Sam Darnold be able to restrain his poltergeist at the palace, formerly the Haunted Palace in Inglewood? Time will tell, but I believe Matty has exorcised his demon. Poltergeist be gone, the football gods compel you. All right, so now, that's the defense. On the offensive side, well, the Rams, 5th ranked offense. Total offense now, we're talking. Total offense. They're ranked number 5. Seattle, total offense, they're ranked number 9. And so you see, both in the top 10. Oh, it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a good one, and I can't wait to see it. And so, just very quickly around the league, I just want to touch on a couple of things that I noticed. One, well, you see the axes have started falling. They got his head. Oh, I saw they got Nico too. Dumont was like, Nico, I need to see you. I got it coming up in an upcoming Laker episode. Don't worry. But I noticed that Mike Tomlin didn't look very happy with COVID toe. Did you see that? Did you notice that? They asked him, what did you think of COVID toe's performance in this game, coach? And he said, what did you think? Like, how could you ask me such a dumbass question as that? The man stunk to high heaven. And everybody knows it. He didn't look pleased with the COVID toe at all. Not in the least. But hey, we'll get more into the storylines surrounding the NFL and the races to the postseason and all that other business in upcoming episodes. And so for this episode, at this point in time, what I'm going to ask now from you, what I'm going to ask you to do is throw me one of these. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking and hit the bell. You'll be notified when I drop my next video, which won't be long from this video because you know we will be back on the other side of the Seattle Rams game and we will chop up the outcome of that game, and I'm expecting it to be a fantastic game. And so until then, my friend, Scotty says, thank you for watching. One love.